You know, seeing this picture really ticks me off.
Divorce is not an option.
Newsom is really pathetic. Divorce is not an option. Yeah, Newsom, going to China, meeting with Xi Jinping, talking to CCP about climate change, which they probably don't give a damn about, improving relations with China, which is making them stronger, and the US their servant. Yeah, divorce is not an option. Well, Newsom has been divorced once. His ex-wife is currently seeing Trump Jr. He is married to his second wife, but seems like Newsom's relationship with Xi is much more important than his relationship with his current wife. It's like Newsom has been having an affair with Xi before they even met. How pathetic is that? Well, Newsom is pathetic. So Newsom went to China to talk about climate change, working together to fight climate change. Yeah, does China really care about climate change? All they care about is taking over the world. For example, preparing to invade Taiwan. Newsom was actually criticized for going to China to talk to them about battling climate change together, while he should have talked to them about human rights issues, like in Hong Kong. Them always threatening to invade Taiwan, Tibet, and all those Uyghurs who are locked up in concentration camps in Xinjiang. Well, Newsom brought it up, but not to Xi. Here's what he had to say when he was interviewed about his trip to China.
We discussed, not with President Xi specifically, but with the foreign minister, the issue of Taiwan. We talked about broader issues of human rights, referencing what's happening in Tibet and obviously Hong Kong and elsewhere. But as it relates to the specific question and your reference to President Xi, I felt the opposite, to be candid with you. I think I don't want to say we're turning a page, because that may be an overstatement. But it was very significant that Secretary of State Blinken was out here, our Commerce Secretary, our Treasury Secretary. I was with our Ambassador Burns, to China today. And the fact that we had access to these high-level meetings, I'll be meeting with 5 provincial governors tomorrow, another extension of this visit, I think is suggestive that we're entering, I hope, a new phase, a bit of a thawing. The last few years have been very stressful. I think it goes to your question. And we've got to turn down the heat. We've got to manage our strategic differences. We've got to reconcile our strategic red lines. Those are well established between our two countries. But I want to applaud the Biden administration. And on the basis of the engagement I had today with members of the Xi administration, President Xi himself, I want to applaud his willingness to reconcile those differences, people-to-people exchange. The fact he's meeting with the governor of California at the subnational level, I think, is indicative of a thawing. Divorce is not an option.
So that's basically Newsom saying, I don't care about what CCP is doing. Yeah, improving relationships with China, which is basically the US kowtowing to them. Oh, by the way, there were some Chinese people who joined the US Navy and then they were actually caught spying for China. Since Newsom is the governor of California, he should have definitely talked to Xi about that. Like, yo, we caught some Chinese spies in San Diego. Yo, don't ever do that again. But of course, renminbi and his marriage with Xi is far more important. Newsom was probably like, I'll just let that slide. As governor, Newsom should have protected California. What's ironic about Newsom is he cares about China more than California. Following the Chinese regime, well, Newsom will probably go back to California with more made-in-China face coverings, which he probably spent $1 billion buying again. And he'll probably pardon all those Chinese spies who were arrested. And maybe he will allow more Chinese people to go to California to promote CCP culture. California will probably have more Confucius Institutes. They might reopen one in SDSU. I must say that Southern California, especially San Diego, they are very pro-China. They think CCP is China. A lot of people, especially Asian Americans, they cannot distinguish the difference between the Chinese regime and China. That's very unfortunate. But because of Newsom's visit to China, it's gonna make California, especially Southern California, more pro-China. A lot of Southern Californians these days, they make their kids learn Mandarin because they believe China is the future. They are all greedy. They think money can solve all their problems. So they believe China can solve all their problems. Money, money, money. I think that the Chinese regime has been indirectly controlling California for a long time, but due to Newsom's stupid move, it's gonna get worse. Go to hell, Newsom. You are pathetic. You are a disgrace to California. You are a disgrace to the US. And since you are so scared to mention human rights abuse to Xi, you are a coward.
Newsom also meeting with China's foreign minister earlier. He says he pressed him on human rights issues, but not the president.
And what do you say to critics who say that you should have brought it up with Xi?
Look, I can't be everything to everybody, every moment of every minute of every day. Look, I can't be everything to everybody, every moment of every minute of every day.
Divorce is not an option.
Divorce is not an option. Wow. Cheating on your second wife with Xi.
We have to reconcile these differences. So yes.
Reconcile those differences. Newsom wants California to be more like China, following communism. Newsom sucks. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate comments from Wu Maos. Come at me. Gotta make those 50 cents, right? And as a Hong Konger, I will end it with this. 光復香港，時代革命。